In this video, we will see about different districts of Jharkhand. Let us start with the capital, Ranchi. Population of Ranchi is 2,914,253. Sex ratio is 949. Literacy rate is 76.06%. Density is 572 per kilometer square. Area is 5097 kilometer square. Constituencies are 7. Now let us move to the second most populous district of Jharkhand, Dhanbad. Population is 2,684,253. Sex ratio is 909. Literacy rate is 74.52%. Density is 1316 per kilometer square. Area is 2040 km square. Constituencies are 6. Now let us move to the next district, Giridih. Population of Giridih is 2,445,474. Sex ratio is 944. Literacy rate is 63.14%. Density is 493 per kilometer square. Area is 4,962 kilometer square. Constituencies are 6. Now let us move to East Singhbhum. Population of East Singhbhum is 2,293,919. Sex ratio is 949. Literacy rate is 75.49%. Density is 644 per kilometer square. Area is 3,562 kilometer square. Constituencies are 6. Now let us move to Bokaro. Population of Bokaro is 2,062,330. Sex ratio is 922. Literacy rate is 72.01%. Density is 715 per kilometer square. Area is 2883 kilometer square. Constituencies are 4. Now let us move to Palamu. Population of Palamu is 1,939,869. Sex ratio is 928. Literacy rate is 63.63%. Density is 442 per kilometer square. Area is 4,393 kilometer square. Constituencies are 5. Now let us move to Hazaribagh. Population of Hazaribagh is 1,734,495. Sex ratio is 947. Literacy rate is 69.75%. Density is 488 per kilometer square. Area is 3,555 kilometer square. Constituencies are 4. Now let us move to West Singhbhum. Population of West Singhbhum is 1,502,338. Sex ratio is 1,005. Literacy rate is 58.63%. Density is 208 per kilometer square. Area is 7,224 kilometer square. Constituencies are 5. Now let us move to Devghar. Population of Devghar is 1,492,073. Sex ratio is 925. Literacy rate is 64.85%. Density is 602 per kilometer square. Area is 2,477 kilometer square. Constituencies are 3. Now let us move to Garhwa. Population of Garhwa is 1,322,784. Sex ratio is 935. Literacy rate is 60.33%. Density is 323 per kilometer square. Area is 4093 kilometer square. Constituencies are 2. Now let us move to Tumka. Population of Tumka is 1,321,442. Sex ratio is 977. Literacy rate is 61.02%. Density is 351 per kilometer square. Area is 3761 kilometer square. Constituencies are 4. Now let us move to Godda. Population of Godda is 1,313,551. Sex ratio is 938. Literacy rate is 56.40%. Density is 580 per kilometer square. Area is 2266 kilometer square. Constituencies are 3. Now let us move to Sahibganj. Population of Sahibganj is 1,150,567. Sex ratio is 952. Literacy rate is 52.04%. Density is 558 per kilometer square. Area is 2063 kilometer square. Constituencies are 3. Now let us move to Saraikela Kharsawa. Population of Saraikela Kharsawa is 1,065,056. Sex ratio is 956. Literacy rate is 67.7%. Density is 401 per kilometer square. Area is 2657 kilometer square. Constituencies are 3. Now let us move to Ramgarh. Population of Ramgarh is 949,443. Sex ratio is 921. Literacy rate is 73.17%. Density is 708 per kilometer square. Area is 175 kilometer square. Constituencies are 2. Now let us move to Pakur. Population of Pakur is 900,422. Sex ratio is 989. Literacy rate is 48.82%. Density is 497 per kilometer square. Area is 1811 kilometer square. Constituencies are 3. Now let us move to Jamtara. Population of Jamtara is 791,042. Sex ratio is 954. Literacy rate is 64.59%. Density is 437 per kilometer square. Area is 1811 kilometer square. Constituencies are 2. Now let us move to Latehar. Population of Latehar is 726,978. Sex ratio is 967. Literacy rate is 59.61%. Density is 169 per kilometer square. Area is 4,291 kilometer square. Constituencies are 2. Now let us move to Koderma. Population of Koderma is 716,259. Sex ratio is 282. Literacy rate is 66.84%. Density is 282 per kilometer square. Area is 1433 kilometer square. There is only one constituency. Now let us move to Simdega. Population of Simdega is 599,578. Sex ratio is 997. Literacy rate is 67.99%. Density is 159 per kilometer square. Area is 3774 kilometer square. Constituencies are 2. Now let us move to Khoti. Population of Khoti is 531,885. Sex ratio is 997. Literacy rate is 63.86%. Density is 572 per kilometer square. Area is 2535 kilometer square. Constituencies are 2. Now let us move to Lohardaga. Population of Lohardaga is 461,790. Sex ratio is 985. Literacy rate is 67.61%. Density is 307 per kilometer square. Area is 1502 kilometer square. There is only one constituency.